Hello kids, I welcome you all to an exciting journey of learning new things. Well, I would want to begin this lesson of English grammar with a thought, a wisdom, a pearl of wisdom. Well, the golden age lies in front of us and not behind us. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that we should always look forward or look towards future. The things which you've already done or the things which have passed, you cannot go back and change them. So you always look in the front or in the future or in the next moment what I need to do. So with this thought, let's begin our next chapter, that is subject and predicate. Well, in the previous class, you learned about sentences. You learned the different types of sentences. I hope you all remember, right? Yes. So can you recall what a sentence is? Well, it is a group of words which is put together to form a meaningful statement. And for example, there could be questions. How are you? Please don't talk. A request. Oh, what an exciting journey! Exclamatory sentence. The sun rises in the east is a declarative sentence. Yes, children, do you all remember it? I'm sure you all. So with this, let's gradually move to our next topic. Well, for that, I want you all to look at this pen, right? Observe what I'm doing. So now, what have I done? Can you tell me? Yes, children? Yes, you're right. I have dismantled the pen. So now, in my hand, I have the parts of the pen, right? So today, we are going to focus on the parts of the sentence. Children, to begin with, I want you to observe the green board. Look at these sentences. Read after me. Mrs. Shah teaches us English. Rama baked a cake. The crocodile slept in the sun. So, in these three sentences, you would observe that there is something that we are talking about, right? So, in the first sentence, we are talking about Mrs. Shah. So, we underline this. Mrs. Shah is doing something in this particular sentence. What is she doing? Well, she is teaching, right? So, she teaches us English. Now, look at the second example. Rama baked a cake. Well, what are we talking about here? Or who are we talking about here? We are talking about Rama. What is Rama doing? He is baking a cake, or Rama baked a cake, which is in past tense. Then the crocodile slept in the sun, right? So, what is the crocodile doing? Here, the verb would be slept, and then the crocodile. Okay? So, I want you to take your textbooks, the Tune Into Grammar book, come to page 8. Now look at this exercise there, the first activity which is given in your book. Read these sentences and underline the person or the thing that is doing the action. Right? So that is what we just did. I have done 3 for you. You're going to do the rest of the sentences. And what does it say in the second part? It says, encircle the verb. So, you're going to circle the verb as I have done here. But all this brings me to one point. What is that? Yes, we eventually come to a conclusion that every sentence has a structure. What is that structure? The structure looks like this. It is subject plus verb plus object, right? So, it is subject plus verb plus object. Now, what is the subject? As I already told you, it talks about the who or what in a sentence, okay? And what is the predicate? Basically, it is the rest of the part of the sentence which tells us the action in a sentence, right? So, we are going to understand the verb and the object, which is the predicate. Is that clear, children? I hope you've understood. So, to quickly recall what we've understood, let's understand. The subject talks about the action, or the subject is the person who does an action or performs the action. The predicate tells us what the subject does, right? So, it tells us who or what a sentence is. Predicate tells us the action in a sentence. For example, the tiny spider spins a web, right? So, who are we talking here about? We're talking about the tiny spider. And then predicate, what does it say? The action, what the subject is doing. So, what is the tiny spider doing here? He is trying to spin a web. So, the tiny spider spins a web. This is the predicate. Children, let's begin to understand more about the subject and the predicate. Well, as you have all learned that in the previous class, different kinds of sentences. So, now we would understand how the subject varies in these different types of sentences. So, to begin with, let's understand that a complete sentence always needs a subject and a predicate to complete or to be complete or to give you a complete meaning. So, for example, look at this. Mr. Parks is our principal. Max and Ben are in 3rd grade. The waitress dropped the tray of food. Now, these all are simple, assertive or declarative sentences, right? So, you see the subject is generally in the starting of the sentence, and the subject could also be a noun, that is a naming word, which is place, name of a place. It could be the thing, it could be an idea that we are talking about, it could be an animal that we are talking about. So, the subject can always vary, and it is usually in the starting of the sentence, but there are exceptions. The exceptions are that it can always, it does not always comes at the beginning of a sentence. So, what do we understand? It could also be at the end of the sentence. Like in this example, we see that down rolled the stones. So, what rolled down the hill? The stones, right? So, here the subject is at the end and the verb is in the starting. Children, let's continue to learn more about predicate. Now, predicate is that part of the sentence which tells us something about the subject, right? Now look at these examples. Here the sentence is divided into two parts, that is two colors that you see. So the color red indicates the predicate. Okay. So here Mr. Parks is our principal, right? So is our principal is the predicate. Max and Ben are in 3rd grade. So here are in 3rd grade is the predicate. The waitress dropped the tray of food, right? So here dropped the tray of food. So the part here in the red is the predicate. Now what do we understand by this? That the predicate is always towards the end of the sentence and it can be multiple words, but there are exceptions to it. What is the exception? Here predicate can sometimes be a single word, right? So for example, cats purr, the mobile rang, the child cries. In all these examples, you see that the verb is only one word, that is the predicate is only one word. Let's continue to understand the subjects in different types of sentences. To begin with, let's start with the interrogative sentence. So here, look at the example first. Have the guests arrived? So usually the subject comes between the helping verb and the main verb. So this is the helping verb and the main verb is arrived. Okay? So this is an example where in interrogative sentences the subject comes between the helping verb and the main verb. Okay? Now let's understand the second one, that is imperative sentence. Now the subject here is always you, because you remember what imperative sentences tell us? Yes, they give us request or they advise or they give an order. So all these three things is done to someone else. So basically it is for someone else to obey it. So it says please close the door, it means you close the door. Do not talk, it means you should not talk, right? I think you should work hard. So here it is you. So all these examples lead us to the understanding that the subject in imperative sentences is always you. Okay? Then in exclamatory sentences, what are exclamatory sentences? I hope you all remember. Yes, you're right. It talks about extreme emotion or it talks about something which is a wonder or a surprise, right? So what happens in that case? In that case, the subject is at the end. For example, what a beautiful speech she gave. So where is the subject there? She, right? So it is towards the end. What a beautiful dress she wore. She is again at the end of the sentence. So kids, I hope you all have understood the concept of the subject, predicate and their position in different types of sentences. Children, it's time to put on your thinking caps. Now, it's an exercise that you're going to do. For that, I want you all to look at the green board, observe the questions, read it after me and then try to solve the questions. Now, what is this activity telling us to do? It's asking us to add a subject, right? And then add a predicate. Here, in the first sentence, you would see Dash walked with a limp. So what is a subject that you would want to add? It could be anything. Now that you know what a subject is, you can go ahead and add any subject. Yes children, can you quickly think of something? Yes, it could be the man, it could be a woman, but I will choose to write here. The old man walked with a limp, right? Then in the second example, Dash was juggling many balls. Well, have you seen a juggler juggling many balls? Yes. Where would have you seen? Yes, you would have seen that in circus or in many other videos, right? So, who will juggle the ball? Yes, that's the clown. Alright children, now let's move on to the second part of the activity, that is you are going to add the predicate to the subject given here, right? So, the severe tornado, Dash. So, here the subject is the severe tornado. So, what do you want to be written further? What do you think the tornado would have done? Yes, it caused severe damage. So, here we will write the severe tornado caused the damage. Now, did you observe children that we are simply falling in place with the structure that we learned in the starting, that is subject, verb, object. So, the subject is there, here you have the verb and the object. Okay, snake, what do you think you will write here? Yes, any guesses children? Yes, the snake drank the milk. Okay, I'll write this, drank the milk. Okay, so here you would see drank is the verb, object is the milk. Children, let's look at the third example. Here, the beginning of the sentence you will have to fill in, but if you see the subject is he, gave, and there is an exclamation mark. So now, what do you think you would fill in? So this is an exclamatory sentence. Yes. So what can we write here? We have to be expressing a wonder or a surprise here. So I would write, what an amazing speech he gave. Okay children? So we continue writing it. What an amazing speech he gave. Okay children? Children, we have now come to an end of this lesson. So I want you all to do a homework activity. Look at these pictures and write at least 5 sentences about the pictures and then underline the subject in each sentence. So children, you will simply observe this picture, write any 5 sentences of your choice and underline the subject in each sentence. So children, I hope you all like the class and you have learnt something. Yes, now I leave you with this thought, rather an instruction. Do watch the videos carefully, follow up on the videos, go through your grammar textbook, that is Tune In to Grammar, read it really well in order to understand much better and further try to solve the exercises which are given in the textbook. Until then, be safe and healthy. Happy learning. Bye bye.